Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, for my celebration of Halloween and to keep in the spirit of October, I'm going to be reviewing the Blu-ray version of the Addams Family Values. Yes, right, the sequel. Since I reviewed the first part, I figured I would review the second part. As I said multiple times before, if I review one installment of the series, I might as well review them all. So yeah, it's on my to-do list anyway. So here we go. As usual, let's get into the plot of this, shall we? So pretty much, we get to see that the Addams family is basically expanding because there's a child in this one, folks. Yes, sir. There's a kid in here. So let's just say that for most of the family, they welcome this child with open arms. I say most because let's just say that not exactly everyone is thrilled by having a child in here, folks, because let's just say that Pugsley and Wednesday, they basically want to get rid of the kid. They find whichever way to maybe make it seem like they would want to basically dispose of the child, of course, because they only be the only two here. All these siblings have a little rivalry going on, I guess, because they don't want to be replaced. They really don't. And as you can expect, they do a bunch of crazy things. On top of what's going on, there is this nanny that gets hired to pretty much do a certain job around here, of course. So it just seems like she could be a nice woman. She could be careful. She could be graceful or whatever. But deep down, maybe there's something more to her than that. But of course, there is more to that than what it seems to be at first, of course. Annie certainly does want to marry Uncle Fester, and he does believe to be true love. But of course, we all know that's not really the case here, like at all. Well, because she's an asshole. But of course, the the Addams family had to go through a bunch of nannies before they got to her, because trying to take care of the little kids, Wednesday and Pugsley, yeah, let's just say it does take a serious task for any nanny for that matter. So she was actually basically like a last resort, I guess you can say. But she does prove to be a handful in a lot of ways, especially for the kids. So she does trick the parents into thinking that Wednesday and Pugsley need to be sent away. And of course, that's exactly what happens. Oh boy. We arrive with a place where the kids are gonna stay at. It's a really good setup right here, folks. When they reach to this area where they're gonna be staying for a little while, I have to admit, I thought it was actually pretty funny. It was actually seen in the first movie, like real briefly, and I guess they decided to bring it back for the sequel. Even from her brief cameo in the first film, and in this one, she came out like a stuck-up little bitch. I really did not like that character at all. Well, I I guess that was always the point, I suppose. Speaking of returning characters, yeah, this character with the glasses, he was briefly shown in the first one as well, and now he has a much bigger role in the sequel, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, there are some other crazy bits of the movie that does come in around this part of it, and yeah, it gets pretty damn crazy, and I do think that's a cool thing. Yeah, we get to meet up with these two other characters as well. Yeah, they also come up extremely stuck up. Really, the boy stuck up all the way, folks. There are other parts of the film I want to bring up, but I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. But I can say that this is definitely a really good movie. And it's one of those few, and I do mean few times, where I can say that the sequel was actually better than the original. So it comes off more adventurous, it comes off comedic timing has way more tightened, and the jokes come off better. I just like this film on an overall better story. And all the characters have been separated, which makes things a bit more interesting. And that's the thing with sequels, with regardless of genre. When if you make a sequel, at the second part, you always have to make the characters come off like they're separated from each other, and you have to make it seem like how are they going to get back together exactly. So, a pretty good film overall. I really did like it. But again, like I said about the review from the first movie, the Blu-ray is very disappointing. Very disappointing Blu-ray because there's nothing. There's literally nothing right here really. No behind the features. No special featurettes. Nothing. No trailers. I mean, it looks good in Blu-ray. I'll say that. And the sound quality is really good. And that's it, really. So the Blu-ray is really disappointing. And I mean, I do like that each one has its own separate disc. That's cool. But even the disc themselves look rather plain. The design for the discs look rather plain. But whatever. And the movie itself is fine, I guess, but still. So anyway, folks, this is definitely a good sequel. I did like the acting overall. The music is good, and it's definitely well written. I did like this type of humor that was displayed in this film. So yes, I really thought it was well executed. Still could have done more with the Blu-ray though, or whatever. Yes, I know there are other editions of both movies out there floating around, but I highly doubt it that they're much different than the version I'm currently reviewing. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that at all. The film gets an overall rating of a 7.3 out of 10. It gets a 7.3 out of 10 for me. As always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time. Oh yeah.